we're here today because yesterday, Chong DAP defended his Malayan boss, Lim Guan Eng. Lim Guan Eng says Sarawak will go bankrupt in 3 years after Pakatan Harapan won the election. And he says that we are not bankrupt now because our YAB Premier abolished the LRT. That was what Chong says. First, I would like to make it clear here, Sarawak has a reserve of 32 billion. Today, we still have a reserve of 29 billion with all the pandemic and everything. We still have a reserve of 29 billion. As far as I can remember, Penang, where Chong's boss is, they only have a reserve of less than 2 billion. Less than 2 billion. Penang's undersea tunnel cost 6.3 billion. Whereas our ART, our autonomous rail transit, is going to cost about 6 billion. Based on that simple analogy, who is going to go bankrupt first? Who is going to go bankrupt first? Penang. Lim Guan Eng should look after his back door first and before he pick on Sarawak. And Chong should be smart enough to take care of Sarawak, to defend Sarawak. Apa itu cakap Sarawak bankrupt, tidak bankrupt? Sarawak has 29 billion reserve today, the biggest reserve in the whole of Malaysia. Chong and Lim Guan Eng should apologize to the people of Sarawak for being so rude, so boastful, and looking down on Sarawak's capabilities. I remember when PH won the election, the first thing they did, slash the 3 major bridges in Sarawak. And many other projects were slashed, costing hundreds of millions of ringgit. Who was the Minister of Finance then? Lim Guan Eng. Why did Chong not go up to Lim Guan Eng and tell him, Sarawak, other places can cut, Sarawak cannot cut? Why? DAP lah. Our proposed ART, our proposed autonomous rail transit, is in the planning stage today. We have not slashed our YAB Premier, kept to his word. This is anak Sarawak. This public transport is going ahead. No slashing of this public transport. Yes, we did not go ahead with LRT, but we went ahead with ART, which is a far better version than the original LRT. Autonomous, meaning you don't need a person to man the vehicle. It can run by itself, on wheels and not on rails. Autonomous rail transit. The development of this KUTS project will be conducted in phases. Phase 1 will involve the development of 2 lines, namely the Samarahan line, which covers a distance of about 28 kilometers from Rembus to the city center, and the second line from Syrian, 24 kilometers. Yeah. From Mount 12, Kuching Syrian to the Isthmus. That's the second line. From Mount 12 to the Isthmus. Of course, this project will take time. It's in its infant stage, and we expect the thing to be operational in stages, around 2025, around there, 2025, 2026, around there, yeah. Hey, Lim Guan Eng and his DAP obviously has no interest for Sarawak in their mind. In the 22 months of Pakatan Harapan rule, projects big and small were slashed. Promises, including the recognition of MA 63, were conveniently brushed aside. What is the excuse? Manifesto Pakatan Harapan is not the Bible. Hey. This is Pakatan Harapan, DAP. Such is the haughty attitude attitude of Pakatan Harapan and DAP. No credibility. Zero sincerity. My advice to Chong, Lim Guan Eng, and his Malayan DAPs: fulfill your promises that you have made to the people of Sarawak before you ever set foot in Sarawak again. Stay away from Sarawak. Yes. Let's all do it. Stay away from Sarawak. Come. 1, 2, 3. Stay away from Sarawak. Bagus. Yeah.